Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Welcome. We are absolutely thrilled to have all of you here and to welcome you to Austin, Texas. For those of you who were here last year, hopefully you appreciate that it's only raining. It is not icing or sleeting or whatever you want to call it. It is really such a pleasure to share this room with all of you, because the people in this room are some of the most dedicated, passionate advocates and leaders in the fight against cancer. And it's really humbling and a pleasure and an honor to call all of you our best partners. Among the crowd today are many special individuals, a few of whom I want to mention briefly. First and foremost, we have two of our board members here with us today, Dr. Craig Nichols and Dennis Kavner. These are individuals who have given so much time and energy and so much wisdom to our organization and our cause, and it's really an honor to have them with us today. We also have more than 500 participants in this year's LiveStrong Assembly 2012. And you come from almost every continent around the world. So we have a huge contingent, obviously from North America, but we have our partners from Australia, from Europe. Oh, we have one in Australia. From Europe, from Asia, and from Africa. And I think it's really a sign that we as a movement have really expanded our reach internationally. And so it's a thrill to have so many people representing so many continents around the world. Absolutely. Let me just mention a few other of our key partners who are here today. We have our patient navigation partners. These are our devoted and tireless leaders who allow us to serve tens of thousands of people every single year who are diagnosed with this disease. We have the Patient Advocate Foundation, we have Emerging Med, our longstanding partners, and we also have our newer partners, Immerman's Angels and the Navigate Cancer Foundation. Since 2004, these partners have helped us serve tens of thousands of individuals and families who, as many in this room know, experience that roller coaster of emotions and all that comes with hearing that they are diagnosed with cancer. This includes financial and insurance issues, clinical trial matching, fertility preservation, health literacy, and just offering the emotional and psychosocial support that is so critical. Please help me welcome our navigation services partners. We also have with us today our LiveStrong leaders and our senior leaders who come from all around the world. This is actually the first time that we have gathered all of our leaders and senior leaders in one place. And in fact, yesterday, as I was having lunch with our senior leaders, many people said, "It is unbelievable that I've never met any of you. I know you from Facebook, I see you on Twitter, we talk every day, and I have yet to talk to you in person." And so I don't want to it can't be overstated, the value of having these in-person gatherings. And so I want to especially thank all of our leaders for being our eyes, our ears, our voices, and really helping to facilitate the work of our movement at a local level all around the world. You are incredibly, incredibly special to all of us at the organization. Let me give you just two quick examples of some of the work that our leaders do every day. First, our LiveStrong leader, Johan van Staden from Pretoria. He is the creative director of a distance education institution in South Africa. And he shares Livestrong at school with students ages 7 to 18, teaching them the basics about cancer. Where's Johan? There. Thank you. And our senior leader, Gina Baldassare. Where's Gina? In the back. Gina is working tirelessly in California. Right now, she's been instrumental in getting people to vote yes on Prop 29, which you'll hear a little bit more about, which would create one of the world's most innovative and largest funding mechanisms for cancer research and prevention. And we are so excited to have you not only as a leader, but a senior leader, and we just can't thank you enough for all that you do. There is one individual that many of us are missing this year. And I know that this has been discussed at length with some of the senior leaders and some of the other leaders, but I want to just acknowledge the passing of Jerry Carpentier, who participated in virtually every activity that our organization has ever put together. Whether it be a bike ride, whether it be an advocacy lobby day on Capitol Hill, whether it be a grassroots activity in California or elsewhere, she was always present. And she gave so much of her time and her energy and her attention and resources. And we all miss her dearly. But as I was talking with a few of you this morning, we know that she's here. And we hope to just be able to honor her as we go through the next few days. Where are our partners from Livestrong at the Y? Wow, they're everywhere. And the reason they're everywhere is because in nearly 200 cities around the United States, Livestrong at the Y is offering cancer survivors a great platform to regain their health and wellness. It's a 12-week small group activity designed for adult cancer survivors. And we have seen the enormous difference that it makes. So I want to offer a special thanks and welcome to all of our Livestrong at the Y program partners. We also have our representatives from our Livestrong Survivorship Centers of Excellence Network. This is one of our longest standing programs, and it's really the first of its kind. And what I mean by that is it's a network which forces collaboration between our organization, major cancer centers across the country, and their community affiliates, with the goal of significantly accelerating progress in the field of cancer survivorship. We honestly would not be where we are as a cause and a movement without these centers of excellence. And if I may, I want to also acknowledge a great loss that the Centers of Excellence community experienced this past December. Dr. Marcy Campbell was co-director of our site and partnership program at the Lineberger Cancer Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. After a 2-year battle with colon cancer, Dr. Campbell passed away just at the end of last year. She is greatly missed. She will continue to be missed, and we will continue to honor her memory throughout this assembly and as the work of the Centers of Excellence Network continues on into the future. Where are our promotores? Okay, so this group of partners tends to, last year you were the loudest, but I think the Y has surpassed your enthusiasm. For those of you who are not familiar with promotores, they provide community health workers the necessary skills and knowledge to connect survivors to the resources that are already available. We are so excited about the work that all of you do and so excited about the future of our work together. So thank you for being here. Now I know this is a long list of acknowledgments, but we honestly feel like everybody in this room is family. And I thought it was important to make sure we all had a great understanding of who is here and what everybody does and what role people play in pursuing our shared mission. Many of you know that in 2010, the foundation changed and transformed our community grant program into something that we call the Community Impact Project. And the goal of that project is replicating proven evidence-based programs that serve the direct needs of individuals and families affected by cancer. So I'd like to thank all of our Community Impact Project partners who are here today, and I want to especially give a little acknowledgement to a group called Camp Kesem. Are they in the room? I had a hunch they might be the loudest. When I walked into their breakout session this morning, they were in the midst of, I was gonna say dance, chant, cheer. It was a combination of all three, and I wasn't quick enough to get my camera on video mode. But these are amazing young people who are serving so many through these camps across the country, and we are so excited to have you as part of the Community Impact Project, and we know that the future of our work together looks awfully bright. So everybody in this room plays an important role. The goal of our organization has never been to be the biggest. It has never been to be the largest. It has been to have the most significant impact. And we only can do that for the 28 million people around the world living with a history of cancer because of your partnership and because of the work that we do together. Now, last week, a few of us in the room had the distinct pleasure of hearing in person from Nobel laureate and Professor Elie Wiesel. And he said something that I jotted down on my program that night. And he said, "We don't live as human beings in the past." He said, however, the past lives inside each of us. And so while we as an organization are about to celebrate and are celebrating this year our 15th anniversary, I thought it was important to at least for a brief few minutes take a look back at what we collectively, we in this room collectively have achieved together.
On Wednesday, October 2nd, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. I am determined to fight this disease, and I will win. My doctor told me about something called the obligation of the cured. I felt like it was my duty to be honest about my story and provide hope.
Founding LiveStrong was a high-risk proposition. There was no guarantee that there wouldn't be a recurrence of cancer. It all started to take momentum when he competed in and won the 1999 Tour de France.
Lance Armstrong comes across the line, winner today.
With that, all of a sudden, we had momentum overnight.
In the last 10 to 20 years, you have people that are surviving cancer. They're being put back into the real world. And because of the illness, they're affected physically, they're affected mentally, they're affected socially. Ultimately, I think we can help define this word, survivorship.
Nike approached us in early 2004 with an idea to make a yellow wristband.
We want to take a silicone wristband and we want to make them yellow and put LiveStrong on there, and we want to sell them all for $1.
I remember us kind of rolling our eyes at the idea and saying, okay, great. Yeah, that'll really hit the charts. People wanted to run, walk, ride, whatever they could do to support this movement.
I really wanted to be a part of something greater than myself.
We had people willing to go out and get the word out, to spread the message, to be an army of volunteers. I'm running for the Lance Armstrong Foundation in remembrance of my cousin.
I lost my brother in April, and I just want to get his fight out there.
You don't have to do grand things on a grand scale. You can start out small.
Because we're really bringing people together that truly care and truly want to make a difference.
Our recovery plan will launch a new effort to conquer a disease that has touched the life of nearly every American.
I can guarantee you that the LiveStrong message will touch all continents of our society.
Cancer is clearly a global problem, and yet it's different from country to country. It needs a global response. Lance Armstrong and his foundation are the right people to do it.
We've talked with world leaders, top NGOs, and individuals who are just passionate about the cause.
ndabifuriza ko bazarwara bagakira nk'ubundi nk'uko nanjye bampaye iyo miti nkakira.
I believe everybody has a right to live. Most people die because they don't have the capacity to get treatment.
17 million people are predicted to die from cancer by the year 2030. We can save lives, and we must.
LiveStrong absolutely helped me get on the right track to getting my life back.
It's incredible the impact we've had on so many people, but there's so much more to do.
We can have a world without cancer. It's going to take time, but this is the beginning of that movement. We've realized tremendous commitments and tremendous success, and this is not the end point, it's actually just the beginning.
As wonderful as it is to look back and celebrate so many wonderful accomplishments, this is just the beginning. There is so much more that we have to do and we must do, and people are counting on us. And I am 100% certain that the expertise, resources, and dedication of the people in this room can make that possible. Anything is possible if we can harness the vitality and strength of the resources that we have here today. And in fact, having so many of you here today reminds me of the African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We can go this route together, and we must, because there are millions of people counting on us to do that. Though it was only 15 years ago, public health in the US was defined by different challenges in 1997. The CDC announced that US life expectancy hit an all-time new high. And that trend was attributed to declines in cancer and heart disease. But this trend has reversed among some US populations. And it pales in comparison to the achievements and advancements that we see in other economically advanced countries. That same year, the World Health Organization put out an alert that noted that cancer, heart attacks, and strokes were increasingly occurring in the developing world. Cancer took the lives of an estimated 6.3 million people in 1996, and 10 million new cases were reported. At that same time, the WHO predicted that the number of cancer cases would at least double in the next 25 years. So it was in that environment, a little more than 15 years ago, that Lance was diagnosed with cancer that had invaded his abdomen, his lungs, and his brain. And his survival was unlikely. Even more unlikely were the record 7 Tour de France victories that he achieved after his surviving cancer. But if it was not for his survival, and if it was not for his commitment to what Craig Nichols taught him was the meaning of the obligation of the cured, there would be no foundation. There would be no organization. His triumphs on the bike changed perceptions about cancer. from whether life would continue to how life would continue. This idea, survivorship, became the cornerstone of our organization and the LiveStrong movement that it spawned. And cancer survivorship, the joint cause that we all share in, has never been more critical or more important. Based on recent NCI data, this disease will affect 1 out of every 2 men and women in their lifetime. Today, more than 12 million Americans live with a history of cancer. Many of us in the room here today. And for 28 million people throughout the world, the disease is a daily fact of life. Based on current trends, WHO expects new cancer diagnoses to grow by 1% annually. That's 27 million new cases worldwide by the year 2030. More than double the 10 million cancer cases counted in 2007, just as WHO predicted. With increasing global cancer incidence, of course, comes greater loss of life. Cancer is now believed to be the leading cause of death worldwide. And approximately 17 million cancer deaths are expected each year by the year 2030. Again, more than double the 8 million that we counted in 2007. In the US, rates of cancer death for men and women have continued to slowly decline. And that's a trend that started in the early 1990s. And the problem is that if you adjust that for the size and age of our population, and you compare it to the achievements that we've seen against other chronic conditions like heart disease and stroke, the cancer death rate in the United States has changed far too little since the 1950s. So despite all that has not changed, let's talk about what has. Stigma in the United States is in retreat. Public health entities are aware of and responding to the unnecessary and glaring health disparities. Some cancers are being detected earlier, new treatments are becoming more targeted, the patient navigation field is growing exponentially, tobacco is increasingly banned in public places, and good nutrition and physical fitness have become integral to prevention efforts. These advances are a credit to all of you and your colleagues, whether they're here with us today or whether at this very moment they are back home serving the needs of individuals and families. And if we can continue this progress, the future looks awfully bright. So let me talk just for a few minutes about the future of our work. And when I say our, I mean our work. First, we must expand our commitment to patient navigation, giving each and every cancer survivor every possible advantage as they face this formidable foe. Second, we must work to expand access to care around the world, especially in developing nations. And third, we must redouble our advocacy efforts. We must fight for policies and legislation that prevent and eradicate this disease, as well as support those affected by it. Almost exactly 1 year ago today, the Foundation celebrated the grand opening of the LiveStrong Cancer Navigation Center in the underserved community of East Austin. Many of you in this room shared your wisdom with us as we prepared to open this unique center. And unique is the right word, because today it is one of only 3 entirely community-based navigation centers in the US. It's the culmination of a dream for us, and as an expansion of navigation services that we offered online and telephonically previously. And when you have a dream, you want that dream to get bigger. And when you realize a dream, the dream changes and it expands. And these navigation resources have served more than 2.3 million people. It has interceded with insurers, it's offered a shoulder, it's helped with the daily challenges that survivors and families face, like transportation, or how to talk to loved ones or children about their experience. It has done so much for so many, and yet there are still millions and millions of people around the world that do not have access to these types of services. So as with most things in life, when we achieve something or we realize a dream, we start to think bigger. And our dream now is to provide others with a how-to guide for patient navigation, to share the knowledge we've gained over the last 15 years about what survivors need, to expand our ability to serve them with your help, and as always, to put the survivor, not the system, first. The same goes for survivors all over the world. As you know, we're dedicated to getting people everywhere the cancer treatment, navigation services, and support that they need. Countries at all income levels are facing a staggering cancer burden. Each year, over half of all new cancer cases, and more than 2/3 of all deaths attributable to cancer occur in the developing world. Half of all cases and 2/3 of all deaths. And yet, only 5% of all of the global resources that are dedicated to fighting cancer are invested in the developing world. We aim to change that by proving that cancer care and control are possible, even in the most remote and underserved regions of the world. As an example, in Haiti, the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, we are working with our great friends at Partners in Health to build the first ever comprehensive cancer program in that nation's history. This program will have a tremendous impact on Haitians affected by this disease and will serve as a model for other resource-poor nations. Working with our global partners, the Foundation supports similar efforts that impact millions of people in Jordan, in Rwanda, Haiti, Malawi, and Mexico. And the lessons learned there will be shared with countries around the world. Now, as many of you know, one of the most deadly and pervasive accomplices of cancer is stigma. Stigma and fear lead to delayed diagnosis and treatment, social ostracism, and avoidable suffering and death. Together, we aim to change that too. 202 leaders from 24 countries act as official LiveStrong representatives within their communities. I talked a little bit earlier about that. They work to dispel the stigma, the myths, and the misconceptions. They educate their neighbors about local resources that might be available to them. They demand change from elected officials at the global, national, and local levels. And in 2010, we launched the first national initiative to address cancer stigma in South Africa. It was aimed at supporting a comprehensive, survivor-informed national call to action. This 29-week LiveStrong campaign utilized public service announcements that garnered 56 million media impressions, trained more than 180 community leaders and educators, and implemented a door-to-door awareness effort that provided one-on-one cancer education and information to more than 17,000 households. As a result of this campaign, 45% of the individuals who were exposed to the campaign either learned something new about cancer or said that the campaign had changed their view of the disease. They said they became willing to openly talk about the disease. They were willing to seek screening and early diagnosis. And they discarded the myth that cancer was an inevitable death sentence. We are currently working hard in Mexico to replicate that success. And rest assured, we will not stop there. Together with you, our dearest, closest friends and partners, the foundation will continue working to break down the barriers to cancer care and prevention. Now, the fight against cancer, as we all know, has many battlegrounds. And the ballot box has become one of our most effective weapons. Today in California, the foundation stands shoulder to shoulder with the likes of the American Cancer Society, Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, and many other organizations in support of a measure guaranteed to save 100,000 lives from the tobacco addiction and the cancers that result from it. Proposition 29 is on California's June 5th primary ballot. It will raise the price of a pack of cigarettes by $1. $1. And that would generate, in the first year alone, more than $800 million, which has to be spent on cancer research, prevention, and smoking cessation. We believe in this measure so much that we contributed $1.5 million to the campaign to support it. But Proposition 29 needs all of our help. Somebody earlier said to me, but we've got such an international audience. And I said, everyone knows someone in California. So if you are a registered voter in California, we need your help. It's no surprise that Big Tobacco is pouring tens of millions of dollars into this effort. The estimates that we've heard is that they will spend over $70 to $80 million. And we need to combat their efforts. So if you would like to make a contribution to Proposition 29 in California, every single dollar counts. If you would like to help us spread the word by telling those you know in the state to vote yes on Prop 29, we would be most appreciative. With your leadership and with the networks connected to those of you in this room, victory is within reach. Another issue that needs your advocacy is our current drug shortage crisis. Many of you see the tragic results of this every single day. We certainly hear the stories. Treatment delays, substitute drugs with harsher side effects, and in some cases, patients simply turned away. It's stunning. It's outrageous. And it is completely avoidable. We need your help to make the realities and consequences of this national tragedy known. So we're gathering stories. We're gathering the voices of those suffering as a result of this crisis. So if you have a moment, please take the survey online and share your story or the story of someone you know that's been impacted, and urge those that have had a firsthand experience with this drug shortage crisis to tell their story. The more we speak out, the stronger we become. So I fully realize that I'm preaching to the choir. I mean, the people in this room, you are the pioneers and partisans for people with cancer. And your programs and services and work is essential to helping people everywhere prevent, screen for, treat, navigate, and thrive after their last dose of therapy. You are the core of this movement. I really appreciate what you do. I appreciate the partnership that you provide and the collaborative effort that you make with us and our mission. Together, we are in fact changing the world for so many people, many of whom we may never meet, many of whom we may never know. I often say that the foundation is staffed by a small group of people aligned in spirit and purpose who are both naive enough to think that we can change the world and audacious enough to try. The enthusiasm and commitment that you show for people with cancer demonstrates very, very clearly that you too share our audacity and our purpose. We are truly grateful for that. We rely on it because together we will improve the lives of millions and millions and millions of people around the world. And so few ever in their lifetime get to be a part of something that can have that significant of an impact. Thank you so very much. Live strong. So I think everybody was briefed that we were going to do some Q&A, which we are going to do. But before we do that, I want to just take a moment and say a few more words and then introduce another guest. Because we're family, and because I feel that way with everybody in this room, I want to just say how appreciative we are of your support over the last few years. It has meant the world to all of us.